Hey, I'm sending positive vibes and energy all over to anyone and everyone who's watching my video. I wanted to kind of do a vlog just to because I talk to myself and I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people talk to themselves, but it's like, what's the point of talking to myself if nobody can hear me? Because when I do talk, then I really feel like nobody hears me, but hey, it is what it is. So I'm gonna give you a little backstory on me. My name is Camille. I am 27. I have 2 children, 8 and 4. I don't want to get too personal into their lives, but I guess we'll kind of go there eventually. We'll get to that point at some point. So you can see I'm in my backyard. Don't mind the tiki little things, and please don't mind that happy birthday shit that's in the backyard. It was for my nephew's birthday. I'm not taking it down. I didn't take it down. I'm not. It's there for decoration, so you guys will see it. So I guess you can clock to see how long it takes for that thing to come down, I guess. I don't know. Sure business. If you want to really, do that. So, okay. So I am 27. I am a Libra. I've kind of been trying to debate and decide, because my mind is going, all different ways on how my vlogs are gonna go. Should I start off with some music to spruce this up, or should I just boom get down to it? I'm from New York, so I'm gonna just boom get down to it. It's just the topic is the only thing, because I don't really know what I want to talk about in my first video. So I guess I'm gonna just, to begin with, I guess I'll just go from the heart, what's on my mind and how I'm feeling. So lately, I reached out to a couple people. I was in I'll say middle school. Reached out to a couple people I was in middle school and high school with, and I sent out messages just saying thank you for positive vibes. You look at the jocks and you think, oh, they think they're cute, they think they're the shit, whatever, when you're in school, and then you really don't realize, oh, he really had issues just like I did, but we didn't talk about it. So I kind of want to, talk about it. So to start with middle school, I will say middle school is the beginning of my numbness. But it's I'm 27, so middle school, that's ages ago, and you really don't think about it like that, oh, adults, they get over it. And I guess this is kind of gearing towards middle school and high school age levels, because I'm pretty sure I might take a little clip here, a little clip there, and put it on my TikTok, just so that they can get some awareness. And I want to gain some awareness to everybody about depression. I want to talk about depression. I want to talk about having suicidal thoughts. I want to talk about safe sex. And I want to talk about life in general. What's to come. So, 2015. I'm not going to start there, but I kind of am. I'm going to lead into the 2015, maybe in my next video. We'll see how this one goes first. And plus, I really don't want to start crying on camera about 2015. That was a rough, really rough patch for me. But I think I'm seeing a lot of people that I went to high school, middle school with. I mean, we have celebrities now, Tamar, Nick Cannon, sorry, who are having suicidal thoughts, and they're broadcasting it. I don't, and I have a couple friends who have posted on Facebook saying that, this might be the end. I've been there. So I guess I will start with the numbness. I feel in order to heal, fully heal, you have to love yourself. And At 27, I realized that I never really did love myself. I guess I loved more so that fairy tale of, you know, having 2 kids, being married, having your house, you know, 2-car garage or whatever, 2-story house, whatever. You live in a fairy tale world, and at some point you realize you have to get out of that. But I will start with middle school, I guess. And this hard topics, I guess I can probably put this up there as the video caption to be hard topics, because I think about it, and I think about it often. I have really bad memory. So when I was hit by a car at 7, bad memory loss. I'm not going to get into that, but at some point I realized, okay, especially when I decided I didn't want to take the meds anymore to remember things. I realized that in my mind I could select and choose the memories that I want to remember, because who really wants to remember the bad stuff? But you kind of do want to drag the bad stuff with you so that you can learn to grow from them. So anyway, so again, I do have a son and I do have a daughter. Now keep in mind, they do not know this information, and my parents really don't know this information either, which is something that, I don't know, I guess I swept under the rug. And it's like, when I think about it now, like, I could have said something. My uncle knew the person, but I'm not gonna say, you know, who the person is. Jesus, this thing feels hot. I'm not gonna say who the person is. All right, so in middle school was the first time of my numbness. I will say, like, I was really excited about school. I've always been excited about school, always loved learning. And I really had no problem with helping other people learn. Math was like my top favorite subject. I love all subjects, honestly, but math was like #1, because, you know, when you that check short, then it's a problem. So anyway, back to being serious. Middle school was the first time of my numbness. I cannot say, well, yeah, I can say it was the first time. It started off with my depression. So in middle school, I was dating this guy, and when you're young, you really think that everybody is for you. You really think that everybody is gonna be the one. It's a possibility that they could be the one. And I learned the hard way that no, he was not. And I guess there probably were signs, but I was young, and I was younger than him anyway. So middle school was the first time I was ever set up and was dating this guy. Went over to his house. His cousin was there at the time, and we went to the back, you know, to have sex or whatever. And he told me, yeah, his cousin was leaving. I heard the door close and everything. So I'm like, okay, cool. Got undressed and stuff. We did what we was doing or whatever. Then he leaves the room, like, in a playing manner, like running to the kitchen to go get water or whatever. I left and got pushed into the bathroom where his cousin was, already undressed and ready. So that was the first time that I was raped. It's really not something that I sat down and talked to my family about. It's really more something I just kind of try to sweep under the rug for myself. But if I could, I would go back. If I could, I will go back and say something back then. It's like, back then I always had this guilty conscience, like, I shouldn't have been there anyway. maybe if I wasn't there, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Maybe if I, you know, put a little more pressure on him to tell his cousin to leave because I didn't feel comfortable. But that was the thing. I went to school with his cousin, so I felt really comfortable with him being there. Like, that was one of the homies. I knew him. Now I will say that he did actually apologize. And the part that hurt the most about it was the fact that he did it. I remember after it happened, I quickly got dressed and like ran back home. I legit could have went to my grandmother's house, but I felt disgusting, so I wanted to change. The only thing I selectively remember, and I will say selectively only because I do remember when I left, I did see my uncle downstairs, and I was like in a rush to go, and he asked me what was wrong. He could see that there was tears in my eyes. He saw that there was tears in my eyes back then, but I told him everything was alright, you know, just not feeling well. And he brushed past it and was like, alright. And yeah, so I left, kind of like ran home. And it's funny the things that you really want to select, because I can like see myself running down the hill to get back to the house so that I can get back home. And I legit cried my eyes out. You know, when you're younger, you know, you get your ass beat. You kind of master crying loud, crying silently. So I remember that night crying myself to sleep. And the fact of it was, I didn't go to school with my boyfriend at the time. I went to school with the person who did it. So came Monday. When it came Monday, I saw him in the hallway, and he was like, hey, like nobody was around. His crew wasn't around. I didn't really have a crew. I hung around with everybody. It's just how I was. So his people wasn't around. He was like, hey, I just want to tell you that I'm sorry, and I apologize. I don't know what I was thinking, and I just was like, all right, left, went to go to my class. Actually, no, I did not go to class. I did not go straight to my class, as the bell did ring. I went to the bathroom, and I cried in the bathroom for a good 5 minutes, until somebody came in the bathroom. But that right there is like, when you get older, and even when you're younger, you're told, be mindful who you tell your business to, because not everybody is your friend. That's like the best phrase. Everybody is not your friend. And it's like, when you're younger, it's like, if you tell one of your friends, what are they really going to do about it? If you tell your parents, you think the worst, like, oh, they're going to go find him and kill him. So to protect, you know, your parents doing harm to somebody else, you don't say anything. So I guess that's probably where my head was back then. And then there was another time when I was in, I want to say middle school as well, but I really want to, I think it was really in like high school, but I didn't even start high school. No, it had to have been middle school, because I didn't start high school in New York. I started high school in North Carolina. So it was this one guy. No, it wasn't high school. 10th grade. when I was in New York. It was 10th grade in New York. I used to always walk the halls like I was the shit, only because I was confident. You have to play the part of being confident, because sometimes I wasn't confident, but I always got compliments, whatever. So it was this one guy, and I can explain why I did not say anything. So I met this guy. Now we're going to the same school at this point. This was back in like MySpace days. So I met this guy or whatever, and we're talking, and he's like, you know, we're having like really good conversations. I'm just, you know, getting to know him and stuff like that. We didn't talk anything sexual or anything like that at all. So I wasn't thinking anything of, you know, like that. We were just trying to get to know each other. And this is the second time where I was set up. So went to his house. Like, we met up at like the middle school because he didn't live too far. So we met up at the middle school, walked to his house, and we're chilling in his room. And like, it was legit just chill for like the first couple minutes. We're just watching BT, chilling. He did laundry, so he was folding his clothes and stuff, and I was just chilling. I had stopped at the store before we met up and got some juice and chips, whatever. Straight chill. And then in comes his cousin. Now, this is not the same person, not the same cousin at all. So in walks his cousin, and I'm like, what is he doing here? And he was like, yeah, this is my cousin. You know him? I'm like, yeah, I know him. We go to school together. Like, I knew him before I knew you. So he was like, oh, okay, cool. So get this. I just got a text from my mom. She need me to go run to the store for something real quick. Stay here and chill with my cousin since y'all already know each other.
Here's what I found on the web.
Child, stop being nosy. She just scared me. Stop being nosy. Okay, so he's like, you chill with my cousin for a little bit and I'll be right back. So I'm like, okay. No harm, no foul, because I already knew him. So we're hanging, you know, watching BET. Now, anyway, we're watching BET or whatever, and then this is where it got like a little intense. So he's like, yo, have you ever seen a gun before? And I was like, no. Like, you know, we were taught and raised not to play with guns. They're not toys. So no. So he's like, well, come here, I want to show you something. I'm like, if it's to see a gun, I don't want to see it. Like, it's not what I came over here for. Then I'm, you know, I'm on my phone. I'm texting him. I'm like, where is you at? No response. So I'm steady, you know, while he's talking, doing all that, I'm steady asking him, yo, where's you at? I tried calling, went straight to voicemail. So he was blocking my call. I guess at that point was when I should have just left, but it was kind of too late because he already had the gun out. And pointed the gun in my head and told me to, you know, drop that shit. And that is what happened. And he raped me then. And it was other times after that with the gun threat. He told me if I said anything, and this is the reason why I didn't say anything. At that point, first of all, I'm scary as shit, and you're pointing a gun at me. I didn't know if it was loaded or not. I've never held a gun. So he told me, hey, I know who all your family is, so if you say anything, I'm gonna just shoot and kill your uncle, and I'm gonna make sure I do that shit right in front of you. So yeah, I didn't say anything. So he had told me, he's like, so I'm gonna just let you know right now, my cousin's not coming back, and he only did this for me because I asked him to. So I was played as a friend, and I was played for some pussy. So after, you know, after everything was all said and done, he was like, you know, while he was pulling up his pants and stuff, he had told me, look, go to the bathroom, clean up, wipe your mouth, and when we done, you can go ahead and go home. But I'm gonna let you know right now, every time I see you, and at this point he's waving the gun at me, every time I see you, if you walk past my house, because I know where you stay, I know where your grandfather stay, I know where your grandmother stay, I know where all your people stay at, I know y'all. If you walk past my house, and he told me exactly where his house was, and I'm like, yo, I walk that way all the time, like that's my main route to get to school. To me, it was the shortcut, so it was an easy route to get to school. Anyway, he told me, yo, if you walk past my house and you hear this sound, bring your ass upstairs so I can get some pussy. So that happened, and it happened for a while. I never said anything. And child, I never bragged about anything that he was offering, because it was really nothing to brag about. Nothing at all. So after that guy sadly got with somebody else, and child, like, all of Poughkeepsie noticed me, and he, with his abuse, because he was abusive, but his abuse was calling me a burnt black bitch, smacking the shit out of me. He never raped me though. He was just abusive, so I guess I won't talk about that. Yeah, he was just abusive, and as a black male, calling somebody else, you know, who's also black. And that's the funny thing with black guys, not all black guys, but some of them, the ones who bash and degrade black women the most, the fucking hardest, or the black males who reach out to the white females for some white punani. They like that shit. So yeah, I don't know. Usually when I talk to myself, I try to like cheer myself up about it, just to give myself, you know, positive vibes, positive energy. I mean, right now I'm 27. I'm single, so I'm not really letting anyone in my space to abuse me, to degrade me, to make me feel like I'm lesser than in life, because I've already been knocked down to that point multiple times before. Even when I was in a good relationship back then, when I was a teenager. Yeah. So I'm not giving anyone the chance to hurt me. But I guess this video is, I mean, the next couple of videos after this is going to be all for me anyway. But I know that there's other people who haven't said anything, who haven't spoken out about their domestic violence in relationships or friendships, you know, or entanglement, if you want to get that. But for real though, seriously, if you're ever in a situation where you got that gut feeling, where you feel like something don't feel right, go with your instincts and leave. Because I always, when I was younger, I would say like, I'd rather struggle with you than struggle without you. And when I said that, I felt so dumb, because I'm like, okay, so I'd rather be broke with you than broke without you. Nah. I'd rather be getting my coins up while you struggling and watching me eat. I can help you eat, I can help you succeed, but you gotta help me too. Like, it's not gonna be a one-way street where you just get what you want and I can't get nothing in return. So whatever. But you know, that was just some dumb shit I used to say when I was in a relationship. And I said that the most when I was with my son's father. Like, I'd rather be with you than, yeah. And a lot's changed. So I shouldn't have said that. So on a positive note, on a positive note, I can say I've forgiven. I haven't forgotten. And I honestly don't think that I want to forget it. And I don't want to forget it. I'm not going to hold on to it. I'm not going to hold a grudge or anything like that. But I have kids. So I need to make sure when they get to middle school and high school, really all through their lives, like abuse, domestic violence, all of that happens. Sometimes it can happen at a young age, even younger than they are now. But with me, no, that's not going to happen. But I want to make sure that, especially for my son, because he's going to go to middle school first, I want to make sure that I know the signs. And that's the thing. Like, I want to have somebody to talk to on my YouTube channel about men and their first time when they were raped. How did they get over that? What were the signs that you felt that you were not safe? I guess, I don't know, because I've personally met a lot of people who were like, yeah, you know, I was molested when I was younger, and then they abused me, which is like playing ping pong with myself. You know, what the fuck? So I don't know. And like, at some point, I guess I will get to that point where we sit down and discuss, you know. Maybe I'll ask one of my siblings. Well, they haven't been, but I don't. Child. Damn it, my damn eye. So maybe I'll get to a point where I have a mail on my YouTube and we can discuss that. It's not for me. This is not for my content. It's really for younger people. I mean, and for older people too. I'm 27 and I'm just now saying something. But I say that it's for the younger people only because back then I was young and dumb. Like, bitch, say something. And I didn't. I made that choice. Everything that you do in life is a choice you've made. You can either make the choice to say something or be silent. And the more you are silent and you don't say anything is the more that shit's gonna haunt you in your sleep. So I am letting it go. I don't want this no more. I want to live a life full of happiness, full of joy. But I don't want to forget it. Why? So that when my daughter meets a man, I want to be able to tell her, watch the signs, because they're sneaky. It's not even just men that are sneaky, because it's women who are sneaky too. So I remember I was going out with this guy, and sometimes you can look at things and you can legit be like, bitch, you knew you wasn't supposed to be doing that. But I wasn't. Technically, I wasn't supposed to be doing that because he was not of age. I wasn't of age. I'll put it that way. I wasn't of age. And this girl was my best friend back then. And I remember this one day my dad came in the house and he like stormed in the house. He was like, where's she at? Where's Kimmy at? I'm like, I'm right here. He came in the house screaming at me that somebody said that I was giving oral at the barbershop. I wasn't even having sex back then. And I damn sure wasn't going to be having sex with somebody who was older than me. Nobody knew that. Well, yeah, they did. But no, because it wasn't really like a, hey, come meet my parents type of thing. I got caught. And I was asked, how old he was and stuff like that. I can't remember who asked me that. I think it was my uncle who asked me who that was, and told me I shouldn't be hanging with him because he's not of age or whatever. But me living my life, I'm like, this is my body. I can do what I want. And I really should have listened. And that's the thing about like when you're younger and people's telling you, you know, just wait, you really should just wait, because it's really no rush at all. So anyway, me and this girl, best friends, and she stayed next door to the library, right? And we had like this spot, I think it was like the second floor. They had so many renovations in that library, so I can't even remember which floor it was at. I mean, whatever. So we had a spot to meet up at. So after school, that would be our spot to go meet up at. I went up there to the spot or whatever, because he had sent me a text telling me to meet him there. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I go, and I'm walking around. I'm like, maybe he in this aisle, maybe he in that aisle, and walking around, sitting and waiting. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just read a book and wait, I guess. Me being dumb, like, okay, somebody not coming, then they're not coming. So, whatever. So I'm waiting, walking around waiting, looking out the window, because I'm like, I know his route, he know my route, so let me see if I can see him out the window. I ain't see him. So his brother came, and his brother was like, yeah, you waiting for what's the name? I was like, yeah, he said he was gonna meet me here. And he was like, yeah, he at your friend's house and they having sex. I was like, what? And he was like, I'm being dead ass. So he took me there, and I saw her brother, and her brother like at the front door. He was like, I was like, where's your sister? And he was like, oh, she's upstairs, but you don't want to go up there. I was like, okay. So I go, walked up the stairs, and I heard it all. And then I don't remember. I did not wait, because I'm not doing all of that. I didn't wait to find out if that was him and her. I wasn't gonna do all that. Sometimes in life, you know when they're supposed to be there, and you know when they're not. But you know when you're being played with. And when his brother told me what was happening, I believed him. But I kind of didn't want to believe him. So I followed him, and I found out for myself that, yeah, he was telling the truth. And later on, he tried to apologize and stuff like that. And I was like, child, cry to somebody else, because you're not going to play me, and you playing me for my friend. Like, that's supposed to be my best friend. So, I don't remember talking to her after that. I do know after that she moved away. I had no clue where she moved away to. I was told she moved with her mom or whatever, but I don't know. And this is kind of like where I'm trying to get to. Like, I don't have no friends, because I can't trust nobody like that. I can't even really trust myself, but I'm getting there. I am getting there with learning me. So I have hidden talents. I cannot sing. So you will not be hearing me sing. But I try. I can sing a little bit, like alto. But when I was in the choir, I sang soprano. But anyway. So yeah, so it's like a lot of things happen in life where I can't say that you have to accept them, but you have to take them seeds. Take them seeds. Throw them shits in the dirt and watch it grow. Because you're going to be magnificent. You're already beautiful. You're already going to be something in life. But you're going to be much more. Why? Because you've blossomed. So, I'm gonna just take these all these videos that I have, because I know that that sound weird. Oh, okay. So I do know that my kids might, you know, venture out into my YouTube and find this. But hey, I mean, at some point we're gonna get to the discussion. At some point we're gonna get to what happens in middle school, because when you're younger and you're watching, you know, movies and stuff, and you see all this stuff happening, child, that is TV. Those are movies. That's not really gonna happen. So we can get down to the nitty-gritty, you know, when they get to that point, when they get of age to talk about that type of stuff. But I want to kind of like put it a little bit more in depth with it, because it's a lot with just saying don't do it, wait. It's a lot when you tell somebody just wait. Part of them, because they're young, they feeling a little cocky, they might just be like, whatever, she's just jealous because she's not young no more. No, boo-boo, I'm really trying to warn you. I'm really trying to help you. I'm really trying to prepare you to be yourself. Because when you get into those relationships, you lose yourself more and more. Why? Because you're giving yourself to a motherfucker who don't really care about you. So when you love yourself, and you really, really love yourself, you're not going to play no games. It's really not going to be any time for games. You're really going to be all into your schoolwork, all about your money, all about yourself, loving you, finding you. Find those other things that, like, for example, I used to draw. When I was in elementary school, that was the first time I, you know, realized that I could draw, and I was pretty damn good. So I'm testing myself now to see how far I can get with my drawing, because I get a little irritated sometimes if I can't draw something, so then I just stop for a minute. But I'm trying to test myself to see how far I can go, how good I can get. But my other little hidden talents really like arts and crafts. I can crochet, and I can make hats, I can make scarves, you know. It's real easy. And those are the things, like, when you start to read, you start to like kind of have like a voice. But I don't know, it's different when you're reading books. You have this imagination because you can picture everything, you know, about the characters. But it's different with your own life, because now that you put the book down, now you have to really focus on yourself. You really have to focus on you. And this is why me saying you should wait is really and truly honest, and you should wait, because you never know. But I guess I'll go a little bit. I'll go. I really didn't know how long I would go. You know, I was gonna do my little video for, because I just wanted to talk to myself, but I have an audience this time. So I don't want, from my videos, there's a couple things that I do not want. I don't mind people asking questions, but I don't want people to, because I'm an empath. You can have sympathy, just don't dwell on it. I've gotten over it. That's why I'm okay and I'm open with talking about it. So it's really okay. My journey in life is just really beginning, because I have more to share. Trust me, I have more to share.